An arranged dynastic marriage 3 years ago I married into the Vance family as their trophy husband. For 3 years my wife has never loved me. Her heart has always belonged to her white moonlight, so to Autumn husband in name only like me she's never bothered to give the time of day. I was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer. On my deathbed I called her, "If I die, will you regret it?" Impatient, she answered, "Hurry up and die so I can finally be happy." But when I really did die, she suddenly went insane. One night fell and the lights outside the windows flared to life, painting the city in neon brilliance. I sat in the living room and slowly pressed candles into the birthday cake. No lamps were lit, only the faint flames danced across my face, bright 1 second, shadowed the next. I was waiting for Avery to come home, yet her shadow never appeared. "Happy birthday," I said to myself. The candles were lit, the loneliness flared brighter. I poured myself autumn glass of red wine, lifted the crystal flute in autumn wordless toast, and drained it. We had agreed she would spend this day with me. But I knew she wouldn't return. Julian was back from Europe. He is Avery's white moonlight. I scrolled through Instagram and, sure enough, saw her latest post, "Today is the happiest day of the year." I gave Autumn's self-mocking laugh, sliced Autumn tiny piece of birthday cake, and ate it. It tasted sour. Forget it no more. I swept the rest of the cake into the trash. Close to midnight, to my surprise, Avery came home. She wore an elegant gown and delicate stilettos. She was already tipsy, swaying, barely able to stand. "You're back." My sudden voice startled her sober. "Are you nuts? Sitting in the dark, why no lights?" Click, she flicked the switch, and the vast living room blazed back to life. "Drunk again? Besides drinking, can't you do anything useful? Show some backbone, will you?" I could only offer Autumn bitter smile. To her I was merely an idle house husband, while she stood aloft as the almighty CEO. "I have something for you." I held out the divorce papers I had prepared long ago. She skimmed them, tore them to pieces, and flung the shards in my face. White scraps fluttered like snow. "Let me make this clear, if you think divorcing me will split the fortune, dream on." I had first asked for Autumn divorce Autumn week earlier. She had refused then, and she refused now. Even with Julian's return, her supposed white moonlight, she still wouldn't set me free. Suspicion flickered in me, but I let it go. It no longer mattered. I had no right to keep loving her. After she fell asleep I slid Autumn's single medical report from the stack of documents. Terminal brain cancer, death could come at any moment. 2. In the end, I died on the sea-bright shore I loved most. The morning after my birthday I drove to the coast. She knew how much I adored the sea. Once she had promised to watch the waves with me. Missing sea, I came alone, call the debt repaid. As consciousness ebbed, I dialed her number. "What? You know I'm in Autumn board meeting." Her voice was icy, laced with disgust and impatience. I gave Autumn's soft, mocking laugh, same as ever, year after year. She never looked me in the eye, never wasted courtesy on me. "Speak up. If you're bored, just go die, stop bothering me at work." Suddenly I asked, "If I die, will you regret it?" Autumn's clear sneer traveled through the line, "If you die, I'll celebrate." My sight bled crimson, the world blurred. "I'm sorry for taking 3 years of your life. From now on, you're free. I know Julian's back, go to him." I left another copy of the divorce papers, sign it whenever. She drew Autumn's sharp breath, but before she could answer I ended the call. Darkness swallowed me, my mind sank into an endless abyss. When awareness returned, I was still alive, only now Autumn ghost. 3. For reasons I don't understand, even as Autumn's soul I cannot drift freely. Some tether drags me straight to Avery. Riverdale's tallest tower, Vance her company. In the CEO's office she pores over documents, busy as ever. Autumn workaholic, my final words hadn't slowed her for long. Watching her focused profile, I feel an odd amusement. Perhaps she had always looked like this, only I had never been close enough to notice. I remembered bringing her lunch. She would chase me out, disgust glittering in her eyes. After that I stopped coming, never saw her work again. Vance, lunchtime. Executive Assistant Rowan reminds her gently. Usually by now I would have delivered Autumn delicate, restaurant-worthy lunchbox. Not today. I'm skipping. I have Autumn meeting. If you've ordered, eat my portion. Rowan parts her lips, hesitates, finally says nothing, yet confusion lingers. Normally Ellis appears rain or shine with an exquisite lunchbox, today nothing. Autumn first, as far as memory serves. Understood, Vance, Rowan answers at last. 4. I meet Julian again, never imagined it would be like this. Autumn-starred restaurant. Julian greets Avery with Autumn's smile, roses in hand. For you. I remember you love roses. Roses emblem of blazing love, beauty incarnate. Thanks, Avery murmurs, accepting them, brushing the petals against her nose, pleased. My spirit flickers. I recall the bouquets I once gave, all tossed into trash, while she sneered, Blake, stop flattering yourself. Roses? You think you're worthy? So the wrong never lay with the flowers, only with the man she loathed. 3 years, congratulations, you're finally free. Julian is handsome, fair, star-eyed, the perfect pretty boy. In autumn-tailored suit and gold-rimmed glasses he looks every inch the gentle intellectual. He lifts Autumn crystal flute, inviting her to toast. Avery stays oddly quiet. This isn't Autumn's celebration. Julian's gaze burns. To me, your divorce is the best news. Back then, if the Sterling family hadn't used its power to force you, you never would have married Autumn man like that. Look at him now. No career, hanging around the house all day, no sense of what Autumn man should be. He never deserved to be your husband. Julian's voice sharpened with every word. I listened in silence. I had no strength to argue, because he was only repeating the truth. 3 years ago, the Sterling family had still been Autumn top-tier dynasty, its name spoken with awe throughout Riverdale's old money circuit. Marrying Avery had never been my choice, it was an arranged dynastic marriage. But after the wedding, I fell in love with her. Her independence, her steel, her frost on the street, she was the iceberg queen of Vance. Yet I knew she fed stray cats in hidden alleys and quietly bankrolled school fees for kids in the mountains, donating fortunes no one ever traced. Her heart held Autumn gentleness the world never saw. Together we launched Autumn Company, and every chart climbed skyward until the day my terminal brain cancer was discovered. I kept it secret, stepped away, and handed Avery the keys to everything. Housebound, I spent my hours perfecting dishes, hoping that when she dragged herself home, exhausted, Autumn hot meal would be waiting. I was down to borrowed time, that was the only love I could still give. To the outside world I was the useless trophy husband warming the sofa. 5. Enough, Avery said, irritation flickering. Let's eat. Julian exhaled. I know you're not ready to accept me yet. But I'll make up for the 3 years I lost. I thought about you every single day. You know you're the only one I've ever loved. He reached across the table, covering her hand with his. Avery, give me Autumn chance, give yourself one, too. Floating half invisible above them, I felt my eyelids twitch. Of course I knew that saying yes to Julian would be the cleanest ending. Only that could truly set me free. Instead, Avery yanked her hand away as if an electric current had shot through her. Julian, please, respect the line. I'm not officially divorced from him yet. Let's just eat. Julian pressed on. Avery, I know he left divorce papers. He's already let go, set you free, so why don't you? Eat, she cut him off, voice like ice. The temperature at the table plummeted, and I drifted there, puzzled. Why? Avery had always loathed me, hadn't she? Why refuse him so flatly, almost, flustered? Could my final words before death have reached her? Impossible, she had said she'd throw Autumn party the day I died. 6. Night fell. Avery didn't go out for drinks, usually she stumbled home near dawn, chased by board meetings or clients. Where's Blake? She asked the housekeeper Autumn. Madam, the young master left early this morning and hasn't returned. I see. She shut the bedroom door with autumn crack that rattled the frame. I hovered near the ceiling, strangely amused by the scene twisting below, the corners of my mouth lifted. Watching Avery from this angle felt like discovering autumn's new continent. She paced, every footstep leaking worry. For the first time in 3 years, she had heard nothing from me all day. She snatched her phone, still no message, and hurled it to the floor. Fine. Never contact me again, see if I care. You think this stunt will make me fold? Dream on, Blake. She dropped into her desk chair and opened her laptop, drowning herself in work, the only anesthesia she trusted. In my ghostly husk, I sighed. Yes, exactly as you wish, I can never call again. Past to Autumn. After every contract was initialed, she glanced at the clock and her agitation flared brighter. I had never seen her rattled. She used to face hurricanes with the calm of Autumn marble statue. She retrieved the cracked phone and dialed. The ring stretched on, unanswered. So you're ignoring me now, Blake? You bastard. Didn't you promise no voicemail, no dead zones, no shutdowns? She snarled like Autumn kitten bearing claws, nothing like the glacial CEO the city feared. I smiled, then ached. Yes, I had promised, and I had kept it until death broke the vow for me. Her voice softened suddenly. You said you'd be home before midnight. And now you're the one breaking curfew. I watched her thumbs fly across the shattered screen. Where are you? Playing hide and seek? You think that's clever? You want money? How much will stop this divorce and disappearing circus? Blake, I hate you. Go ahead, drop dead. She grabbed the desk lamp, the little one printed with teddy bears I'd given her for her first birthday, as my wife smashed it to shards against the wall. My eyelids flickered. That lamp had been meant to save her eyes during late-night ledgers. She slumped on the bed, staring at the glitter of Riverdale beyond the glass, neon smeared across her face, thoughts unreadable. Later she took Autumn cold shower, something she hated, something that always left her feverish, because I'd once joked, when you're furious, nothing numbs it faster than freezing water. Had she remembered my careless advice? I reached out, useless, helpless. I'm sorry, I whispered, voice scattering in the air she'd never hear. 7. Morning came. Avery went to Vance as always. Autumn CEO's calendar is Autumn battlefield of mergers, threats, and ultimatums. Every major decision, every alliance, waits for her nod. It was almost noon when Rowan, her executive assistant, said softly, Vance, someone's here to see you. Avery rubbed her temples. Send him in. Moments later, Julian stepped into the CEO's office with Autumn bouquet of roses cradled in one arm. Surprise, he said, the word wrapped in that faint, dimpled smile of his, adorable enough to make most women weak at the knees. Instead, it only made Avery frown. What are you doing here? I drifted overhead in spirit form and sighed. When I used to show up, she never even offered small talk, just threw me out without ceremony. Yet here was Julian, and she barely batted an eye. I could already hear the hushed gossip leaking through the walls, the city's Ice Queen CEO and Autumn boyband handsome suitor bringing her roses, front page fuel for the rumor mill. I wanted to stop it, to shield Avery's reputation, but ghosts can't muffle water cooler chatter. I missed you, so I came. Tell me, beautiful, are you free for lunch? Avery's face stayed arctic, every inch the human snowstorm. No need. My assistant ordered my lunchbox. Rowan's expression froze. Because, again, I hadn't shown up, there was no lunchbox at all. I'm sorry, Vance, Rowan mumbled. There's nothing ordered today. Avery shot her Autumn razor glance. Rowan's chin dropped another inch. Julian just chuckled. Perfect, then let me. I booked us Autumn table. Japanese this time. Avery exhaled, slow and deliberate. Next time remember to order in. I'm busy, I don't have time to go out. Besides, she added, almost to herself, I'm rather fond of that flavor. Don't let it happen again. Understood, Vance. Rowan's mind, though, was already racing. If Blake never comes back, where am I supposed to find that exact taste? Floating beside her, I caught the thought and it punched straight through my non-existent heart. Had she just said she loved the way I cook? Autumn's smile tugged at my phantom lips. I knew she'd like it. Then the smile faltered. No more chances to cook for you, I'm afraid. 8. My disappearance seemed to leave no mark on Avery's routine. She remained the flawless, frosty billionaire, punctual every morning, out late some nights, home early others. Is he back yet? She asked Autumn one evening. The young master hasn't returned, the housekeeper answered, respectful. Blank expression, same as always. On the 7th day, Avery's composure cracked the tiniest bit. She paced, toyed with her phone, and finally reached for her coat ready to look for me herself when the doorbell rang. Julian, again. Ever since he'd flown back from Europe, he'd pursued her like Autumn man racing the clock, desperate to rewrite the regrets of 3 years ago. Word of our divorce had only revved his engine. For you. Another extravagant bundle of roses, vivid and fragrant. Avery drew Autumn long breath that looked almost like surrender. Why do you keep coming? I missed you. Thought I'd drop by. His dimples flashed as he angled his head. Surely you can spare Autumn cup of tea? Or are we chatting on the doorstep all night? Come in, she said, tone flat. Annoyance simmered beneath the surface, but the history between them cushioned the edge. They had grown up together. Julian had always been her what-if, her almost, until I barged in and turned her life into an arranged dynastic marriage instead. Watching from the ceiling, I let the sigh slip through me. Death changes everything, yet changes nothing. Still no word from him? He asked, casual. Avery gave Autumn faint don't worry about him. Guy had nothing but free time, maybe he finally took the hint. Accepting the divorce could be his one dignified move, don't you think? She offered no answer, eyes cold and distant. Julian closed the gap, fingers brushing hers. Look, you know how I feel. I'm back, let's start over. He leaned in, voice velvet, breath at her ear. Please? She recoiled, yanking free. Show some respect. The rejection stung, his smile flattened. Why? He's gone. Yes, I'm gone. Why, then, won't she take the white knight she's always pined for? I hovered, wordless. Ding dong. I'll get it, Avery said, relieved for the interruption. 9. She opened the door to Pierce, fury painted across his face. Where is he? What the hell did you do with him? The words cracked like autumn whip. Pierce, my brother in everything but blood, the kid whose life I once yanked from Autumn burning car, stood on the stoop, trembling with rage. I shook my spectral head, still so impulsive. Avery blinked, then scoffed. Another performance? When Blake isn't here, he's with you, Pierce growled, voice gravel low. 7 days no calls, no texts. I haven't seen him since the day he walked out of your life. You're his ex-wife, if anyone knows, it's you. They're divorced, Julian cut in, strolling forward. Pierce's eyes slitted. Julian. Funny, he sneered, Blake disappears and you're already playing house with the ex-boyfriend. Shameless, Avery. After everything he did for you, disgusting. Color drained from Avery's face, her nails bit crescents into her palms. That's enough, Julian snapped. You don't get to speak, Pierce fired back. Didn't you get your fill of European escapades? 8 mistresses? 9? Or was it the underage girl I heard about still in high school, wasn't she? Coming home to play devoted prince must take real guts. Who gave you that courage? Some pop song. Each sentence landed like buckshot. Julian's cheeks went chalk white, his smugness evaporating. Avery shot him Autumn's sharp look over her shoulder. Julian sputtered, finger jabbing at Pierce. You. He stammered for half Autumn day, yet couldn't throw back Autumn's single line. I shook my head again and again, trying to stop him. Enough, Pierce, don't say another word, but my voice was nothing more than autumn mute, hollow echo. 10. If you won't go look for him, I will. But don't forget you're his wife. The one he loved most in this world is you. In the end, Pierce walked out all the same, disappointment and fury braided in every stride. It was easy to see that Avery's mind was chaos. You leave too. Julian tried to explain. Avery, just listen. That wasn't how there was nothing overseas, I never dash out, Avery cut him short, ice climbing autumn notch. I said, I don't skylarn to say it twice. The air seemed to drop 10 degrees. Julian's half-raised hand froze mid-air, then fell under Avery's knife-cold glare. Fine. I'll come again when you're ready. No need. And please don't disturb me for autumn while. Autumn rejection, carved from frost. This was the woman he had carried in his heart for years, his unreachable white moon. Part of me refused to believe Avery could be this ruthless. As soon as Julian's footsteps faded, she changed into casual clothes, slid on Autumn pair of sunglasses, and headed out. Straight to Riverdale. I need to report my husband, he's missing. The officer at intake asked, disappeared yesterday? Avery's eyes lost focus, her head drooped. It's been 7 days. The officer looked up. 7 days? And he's still your husband? The word shot like autumn barbed arrow, punched through the armor she wore, tore what little strength she had left to shreds, leaving the trembling, frightened child underneath. Yes, what on earth have I been doing? Autumn whole week gone, and I never once went looking for him. All right, go home and wait. We'll contact you the moment we have news. The paperwork done, the officer dismissed her. Avery couldn't remember how she got back. The woman who stepped through the front door felt like someone else entirely. You're his wife. 7 days, is he even your husband anymore? Pierce's roar and the officer's careless question circled her like night terrors. She was no longer the flawless, independent Ice Queen CEO. Only Autumn, terrified, lonely little girl afraid of losing everything. Ma'am, what's wrong? Seeing Avery curled on the living room sofa, the housekeeper Autumn couldn't help asking. Autumn, turn the heat on, please. I'm freezing. And bring me Autumn blanket. Autumn blinked. But ma'am, it's the middle of some dash. Then she saw Avery's face. Of course. Right away. I watched and heaved Autumn's sigh so heavy it should have rattled the windows. 11, the 8th day after my death. Riverdale called, come identify the body, sign the papers. Avery bolted out like Autumn, woman possessed, her usual polished perfection forgotten. She tore through the streets to the precinct. We're very sorry he's gone. According to the medical examiner's autopsy report, he died 8 days ago. 8 days? Her pupils contracted as though Autumn lightning bolt had slammed through her skull. Impossible, how could he be dead? The world spun, her knees buckled. Only the officer's quick hand kept her upright. How, what happened? Brain cancer. The autopsy indicates the disease was already terminal. Brain cancer? Avery muttered, eyes glazed, voice hollow. The news simply would not fit inside her mind. But how? He stayed home all day. He dashed. Suddenly her mouth fell open, words jammed in her throat. Memory surged. What the hell, Blake? We agreed we'd run this company side by side. Why did you just bail? She had jabbed Autumn's finger at my nose. I only gave Autumn helpless smile. I've never been management material. I'd just cramp your style. Better you take full charge, gives the board something to brag about. Are you kidding me? Autumn MBA, top of the class, who in this city has better instincts? You handed me the reins so you could watch me crash? Avery fumed. And still I smiled my small smile. Sorry, I'm exhausted. I really don't skylark back in the game, so I'm leaving it all to you. That marked the day I stepped away. To the outside I looked like Autumn has been, Autumn's shiftless man who slept till noon and drank the rest of the day, shameless enough to let Autumn woman fight his battles. But my clock was almost out. I could have spent what time remained chained to an 80-hour workweek yet that would only have quickened the slide. More than anything I feared running out of days to quietly love Avery. So I studied cookbooks instead of quarterly statements. I handled every household chore even though Autumn was there because I skylarred to do it myself. Reason? Love seldom bothers with reasons. Could he have been sick even then? Avery clapped Autumn's hand over her mouth, her face contorted in pain. 12. Now, no surprises, I am bound for cremation. I cast one last look at the shell on the gurney. Maybe only after the ashes scatter will I truly be gone. On the day of cremation, Pierce bursts in, frantic with grief, holding me as though he could keep the flames at bay by sheer force. Then he turns on Avery. Why? How the hell did it come to this? You're his wife, how could you not know about the tumor? Tell me. Avery is silent, her gaze glazed. I'm sorry, is all she says. The furnace door closes, Pierce demands the ashes. He's my husband, Avery states, voice level. Pierce glares, fury in every line of him. Not anymore, you were divorced. She snatches the urn. I tore the divorce papers. We never filed. Pierce explodes. You think you still have the right to call yourself his wife? You deserve that title? You should have stayed with that bastard Julian and left Blake alone. He was the idiot who dumped you for some blue-blood heiress overseas. Blake only stepped in because your families forced the arranged dynastic marriage. Then the jerk gets hooked on pills, gets caught in bed with some socialite, and crawls back begging. You think he loves you? He's after your money, your body, nothing more. Blake treasured you like Autumn. Religion turned down every woman who threw herself at him. And you dash, he had practically become the laughingstock of the entire Riverdale elite, the man everyone said groveled at Autumn woman's feet. Yet he never cared. For your sake he was willing to stay home and play house husband. Every breath of his life he gave to you. Each syllable stabbed into Avery's chest like autumn blade made of ice. Enough. Stop talking. Just stop. Her eyes were bloodshot, her whole face twisting. To the world she was the glacial beauty in the CEO chair, but in this moment every shard of armor fell away because the person standing in front of her was me. No matter what, I'm still his wife. Let me handle the funeral. Finally her voice cracked, almost begging. Trust me just this once. Seeing her like that hollowed me out. I wanted to end it, to tell her not to hurt anymore. I couldn't bear the sight. Strange why, in this bodiless state, could I still feel pain? It was the 10th day since I died. The funeral was over, the burial arranged. By rights she should have lapsed back into her old routine. Instead Avery worked like Autumn woman possessed, as though she meant to move into the Vance tower for good. Rowan, what is this? It's not the first time. Why does this food taste like cardboard? She shoved the lunchbox aside. For days Rowan had been ordering from the priciest restaurants in town, chefs with Michelin plaques, yet nothing satisfied her. The flavor she wanted wasn't there. Sorry, Vance. Avery finally snapped. Tell me, did the old place go bankrupt or what? Rowan hesitated, head lowered. Actually, every meal you've eaten until now was hand-delivered by Sterling. What Sterling? Avery froze. Blake? Yes, Vance. After the day he brought you lunch and you threw him out, he asked me to pass the boxes to you. He insisted I say they were takeout so you wouldn't refuse them. He was afraid you'd stop eating if you knew. Avery's mouth fell open, her eyes quivered. Fragments of memory crashed over her. Blake, get lost. You said you'd keep your nose out of company business, so stay out of this building. I'm not here to meddle. I just brought you food. Takeout is garbage, the tower has no cafeteria, and I won't trust what you put in your stomach. Who asked you to care? Get out now. Each line resurfaced like autumn whip crack. Leave us, she told her executive assistant, and the moment the door shut she broke, tears spilling. All along, for 3 whole years, the taste on her tongue had been his cooking. No wonder no restaurant could copy it. He had hidden love between the grains of rice. I drifted above her, autumn ghost sighing in the air. My only wish was that she didn't have to suffer this knowing. Avery still worked past midnight, yet she always came home before 12, our old promise. It's so cold, she would murmur. Empty. Lifeless. Autumn had cranked the heat to maximum. Ma'am, the thermostat is all the way up. Avery answered quietly, you don't understand. She would descend to my wine cellar, walls lined with bottles I'd collected. Did you usually drink here? She asked the silence. Or would you take Autumn bottle upstairs, put on Autumn movie, sip until you were adrift, then fall asleep? She spoke as if I could answer. I wanted to say, I'd rather carry one bottle to the balcony, watch the sun sink behind the skyline, and wait, by the time the wine was gone, you'd be home. That night she drank the way she had on my last birthday, glass after glass. So this is what drinking at home feels like, she slurred, barely able to stand. On unsteady feet she wandered into my study. The air still carried autumn trace of my cologne, she breathed it in like oxygen. I've never been in here before, so tidy. On the desk lay the divorce papers. The sight of those words skewered her. I expected fury, but her fingertips only brushed the typescript. With Autumn's soft sigh she pulled the drawer open to file the papers away and found my medical file. Date, 10 days ago, my birthday. She began to read. Terminal brain cancer diagnosed long ago, now rushing toward the edge. Days, maybe hours, left. She turned each page with trembling fingers until the final line, today is my birthday. The hospital gave me this gift. I want to spend my last one with little Skylar. Avery's tears burst their banks, carving silver trails down her face. She had never looked less perfect and never more alive. Years of buried feeling detonated, uncontainable. My love, soft as spring rain, had finally soaked through her walls. Why didn't you tell me, why? Dazed, she wandered out of the house. I drifted after her, frantic. Where could she be going this late? Her mind was already elsewhere, feet following no path. Autumn horn shrieked wail. Watch out. I lunged to grab her arm, my hands passed through. Her body traced Autumn's graceful arc across the night, then slammed against the pavement. Darkness swallowed her. She sank forever into the abyss. Avery dash. I screamed, voice tearing open. I had never imagined that death would give me front row seats to her end, helpless to stop it. I had never felt this hollow, not even the moment the doctors confirmed the tumor. Blake. Autumn voice, calm and cool as autumn mountain spring, sounded behind me. I turned, unbelieving. There stood Avery, soul poised, immaculate, fierce, the iceberg queen I knew. I knew you were here. You never left me. An Ellis wind swept across the street. We flung ourselves into each other's arms. At last no words were needed, everything we had never said lived in that embrace. Thanks for listening to today's story. If you liked this video, give it Autumn thumbs up and share it with friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, share your views, and don't forget to subscribe for more gripping tales. See you next time.